Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making some parts for the Charger at the machine shop. So I need to make those spacers for that rear adjustable arm. So the centric bolt will go in there and then I can lock it out. But I put the Charger on the ground on the rear suspension and it's crazy. This has me so pumped. I mean, this car has been so high off the ground and a lot of people have been commenting about it, be like, why is that thing so high? It's a monster truck, blah, blah, blah. It's had SXT suspension on it. Now it's at the ride height. It will be about the same as the Hellcat over there. Right now I have the 20-inch Trackhawk wheels and they have the Hellcat tires on them. So they're 305 35 20s. What I'm gonna do is go to 355 35 21s. So the Hellcat from the bottom of the rocker to the ground is 6 inches and this is 4.5 right now. So it will be 6 inches. And why I want it to be factory ride height, or at least that high off the ground, is because then I can rip it around like the Hellcat. But unlike the Hellcat, so the Hellcat in the front, as you can see, the back is higher than the front. So usually you have the back look higher, or the back looks lower than the front because you want to be able to turn the wheels. So, and then you want the, everything to be even. I guess for drag racing, it might be different, but that's how I'm gonna set it up. And it has the softer springs in the back, so it will squat. But I just can't believe how much just lowering a car changes it. Still don't have the bumper or the flare on it. And just look at this. It looks really good. And then it looks like a monster truck. So we need to get the front lowered. So I need to finish up the front subframe. That is coming soon. And then I can get this thing dropped all the way down. I need to make the rear lower control arm so I could fix that alignment issue on the coilover. And also another thing that's really exciting is now that it's lowered, I did all that work for the carbon fiber roof. And it being this high off the ground, SXT monster truck suspension, we have no way of I'm 6'8", but it was really hard for me to see the blue weave in the Kevlar. So now you can see the carbon Kevlar fabric and it looks great. So this car, I just can't wait to have all the suspension and everything on it, the engine and stuff in it, just so it's at the correct ride height and just looking good. Especially with wider wheels, it makes it look a lot better. But even then, the wheels are gonna be probably another 2 or 3 inches wider than that. So I'm gonna go from a 10 to a 12 or a 13, just so I can fill out those flares. And yeah, I just can't wait. So let's go over to the machine shop, make those 4 pieces for that adjustable arm. I'm back home from the machine shop and finished making the bushings for the eccentric bolts. So now I can get these in and lock the tow rods out, and then I can adjust all the suspension. So then I could pull this thing out of the garage. If I would have pushed it out of the garage in the last video, it would have probably towed way in when I was trying to push it back in. It would have been impossible to move. So now that I have these, we can do that and get this thing outside in the sun, lowered. I measured from the wheel to the flare, and it looks like I'm about 1.5 inches too far in on these wheels. So these are 20 by 10s. That's actually pretty good, because that means I could run a 21 by 11.5, and that's like a 325 tire. So it'll be a lot of tire for this car, and 11.5 is still very wide. I think the Hellcat out there is only 11 wide, which is still wide. So, and this will be all-wheel drive. I won't have to worry about wheel spin, etc. So I'm really happy. That's, I mean, the 21 by 13 was kind of getting a little excessive. I could go even wider. I could do like a 21 by 12 because I have a lot of room behind there. But I think this will be the simplest thing. Also, another thing, I don't really know if I like these wheels. I really like how they look like this, because they're a little bit concave, they look aggressive, but then when you look at them straight on, I don't know if I like them. They just don't appeal to me. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get maybe a different style wheel. I'm gonna definitely have to get another wheel because these aren't wide enough. So I'll have to figure out if I'm gonna choose a similar style or if I'm going to choose, you know, a totally different style. I really like the newer Charger wide body wheels. They're kind of like a 5-spoke, but they're kind of like sunk in and they have a lip. I think those look kind of cool, but these are now 5 by 127 or 128 because it's Trackhawk bolt pattern. So it's not gonna work with those wheels. So I'll have to find something or have some custom wheels made. So we'll see what happens, but let's get this thing outside. I wanna pull the struts on the front, put a Hellcat wheel from my Challenger on there, drop it down so it's all the same ride height, and I'm probably gonna keep it pretty close to this ride height right here. Maybe raise it just a hair, but the front needs to come down like probably a foot. So yeah, she looks really good. I don't wanna go any lower than that for ground clearance, just because this is such a long car already, and I don't wanna have to worry about bottoming it out or going over speed bumps or anything like that. I don't want to be able to rip this thing around. So let's go outside. I'll probably give her a little spray down and wash and get her lowered, and we'll be able to finally see what she's going to look like with actual ride height and stance and wheels. And even though these wheels are a little bit sunk in, but it's already looking 1,000 times better than it was like that. finished washing the Charger and she looks really, really good. I can't believe that lowering a car, I mean, everybody knows that if you lower a car a little bit, it changes the whole look of it. And this car was sitting so high off the ground for so long, it's just crazy seeing it at the correct or close to the correct ride height. So there isn't an engine or tranny in it yet. So once I get all that weight in the front, I'm gonna have to readjust the front coilovers, and I need to readjust the rear coilovers. I wanna raise it just a hair in the back, but the back wheels aren't too bad. They are pretty close. I put one of the Hellcat wide body wheels, they're 20 by 11s, and in the front, it's about the same offset. So as you can see, it has about 1.5 inches or 1 inch that the wheel needs to come out, same as in the back. So I don't think there's gonna be too much that's gonna have to happen. I think I could just get the same offset wheel, the same width wheel for the front and the rear, and that'll pretty much take care of this gap. And I kind of want them to be pretty close to flush. I think that'll work out. You can see right here and then up there. But yeah, it just changes it so much actually having the wider wheels in the front. I mean, she looks so good. But I'm gonna pretty much wrap the video up here. I'm glad that it's finally on the suspension, on coilovers in the front and the rear. I'm gonna end the video here, but before I leave, once again, if you haven't watched my Chief Donut Maker video, link is up here or in the description. Check that out. I'm trying to get as many views on that video as I can, as I possibly can. So I appreciate everybody that goes and checks that video out. But if you like these videos, make sure to click that subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, comment below. As always, see you guys next time.